Tonight, an exclusive 10 on Your Side investigation into former Gloucester County resident Mike Brock, whose girlfriend orchestrated his murder, then kept it a secret in the hopes of selling off all of his belongings, including his Colorado home.
His daughters live in Gloucester County, and they reached out to 10 on Your Side after months of fighting to get back what belongs to Mike. They contacted Andy Fox for help.
And the family considers her the Black Widow. You can live an entire lifetime and not hear the story that I'm about to tell you. It is gruesome, it is diabolical, and it takes place in Colorado with ties to Gloucester County. I want to warn you now, details of what happened to Mike Brock are graphic and unimaginable. With some Black Widow spiders, when they mate, the female kills and eats the male. In some ways, you'll find Colorado resident Cynthia Wilkinson is like a Black Widow. At least that's what the family of her boyfriend, Mike Brock, thinks. His former wife, Betty Belcher, and his daughters, Gail and Jessica, live in Gloucester County.
He was murdered for his belongings, and we're just trying to get his stuff back.
Hey, Cynthia. Sheriff's office, turn around. Turn around. Cynthia, you're under arrest.
March 2022, Cynthia Wilkinson taken into custody for setting up and participating in Brock's gruesome murder. Wilkinson interrogated by Captain Bob Coleman.
Will killed him, you were there, you knew what happened, and you helped cover it up. Yes or no?
Yes.
How do you know?
He walked down the stairs with him over his shoulder.
And you knew he was murdered?
Yes.
The spider's web unraveling. Wilkinson's confession comes quickly. Turns out Brock was killed April 21st, 2016, but Wilkinson kept the death secret, even from Brock's family, almost 6 years until February 2022. Belcher says what they've been told about Mike's death is so graphic, the daughters had to leave the room before she told us. Cynthia, along with accomplice Charles Gable, who was not charged due to an immunity deal, went shopping.
And they buy many, many gallons of acid. And then they come back to the house, and Charles cuts the body up with a chainsaw into pieces. And Gail doesn't know this, and neither does Jessica. They boiled his body in a large pot in the garage until mostly all of it had dissolved.
After Mike was dead, Cynthia starts selling off his property, including his home. She sold for $335,000, kept every penny.
You know he was dead, you sold that house for your benefit.
Yeah, 2 years later, I did.
Mike Brock had roots in Gloucester County. He was a taxidermist seen here with Betty when they were married from 1982 to 1989. The last time Brock was in town, 2015.
To meet his grandkids, to see me and my sister, and me and my dad had great communication at that time.
We asked, when you couldn't get in touch with Dad, how come you didn't call police?
I never had an idea that something bad happened to him.
Jessica thought her father was ignoring her.
Because I thought that he didn't want to talk to me because it was the way Cynthia made it to me. And she even took that from me. She took everything from me. But I did look for my dad. Now, we just saw what happened to Mike. Coming up at 6, we dig deeper into these documents that show how his Colorado home was taken by fraud. We are asking, how was Cynthia able to do this? To steal Mike's home from his family after he was killed? Find out. Coming up next.
And we're back with a story you'll see only on 10. A former Gloucester County man murdered by his girlfriend. Her plans were to sell off his home and belongings. We told you about the case at 4 o'clock and at 5:30. Well, new at 6, how she was able to manipulate the system and the closure the family still hasn't received. Then on Your Side's Andy Fox is back now with more tonight. Andy?
Yeah, Tom, this could be a tough story to watch. The Brock family considers Cynthia Wilkinson the Black Widow. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for her part in Mike Brock's death. She set it up, she's the only one charged, and now serving a 30-year sentence. But how was she able to steal Mike Brock's home after he was killed? Cynthia Wilkinson, like a black widow spider, kills her mate, her boyfriend, Mike Brock, and she confesses her involvement to a Colorado Sheriff's Captain, Bob Coleman.
You were there, you knew what happened, and you helped cover it up. Yes or no?
Yes.
Not only that, but Wilkinson starts selling off Brock's property.
Cindy, you signed his truck over in your name within 7 days, or actually 8 days. Okay?
I did.
Records show Wilkinson also stole Mike's mountaintop home, then sold that too.
You know he was dead. You sold that house for your benefit.
Yeah, 2 years later. I did.
10 on Your Side met with Brock's former wife, Betty Belcher, a picture of them from long ago, and his daughters, Gail and Jessica Brock, who all live in Gloucester County. The crime includes fraud. Wilkinson apparently forges this quit-claim deed, transferring ownership of Brock's home from him to her after he was dead. And she admits it.
But the point is when you did the quit claim deed, Mike was already dead.
Right. That's what I was telling him.
Investigators tracked down the notary, Sandra Maldonado, who confirmed the property transfer.
Do you remember anything about this actual interaction?
No, I'm sorry.
Maldonado apparently failed to confirm truthful identification from people at the quitclaim transaction, especially the person posing as Mike Brock. The investigator shows Maldonado Mike Brock's driver license picture.
So you're sure you've never seen this guy?
I'm positive. I've never seen him.
All right, because that's Derek Michael Brock. That's who signed it. And he was dead at the time this was filled out.
Maldonado refused to return our phone calls and emails.
It seems like there was balls dropped all along the way here with Mike, and there's no way that Mike signed his home to a woman that ended up killing him.
We also had this video. We've blurred the new owners who bought Mike's house in good conscience. They sense trouble with the ownership of the home, too.
One of my biggest questions is, can they come back on us?
Then the owner starts thinking about Mike's family.
Surely that guy had relatives or somewhere or something that Mike would be wanting the place back.
And Mike's family does want the house back. Sensing issues with the title, the lender who holds the mortgage offered this settlement agreement to Gail Brock for $115,000.
That her father gave this house to a woman that murdered him. They want her to swear to that. And Gail told him there's no way that she would ever do that.
And because?
It's a lie. Because it's a lie.
So if you could give me a call back, I sure would appreciate the number. Adding insult to injury, the attorney, Robert Smith, refused to return our repeated calls and emails, wants the Brock sisters to actually state as part of the settlement that the fraudulent quitclaim with forged signatures signed 1 month after their father had been murdered is valid. Why won't you sign that?
Because it's not true.
What's not true about it?
My father didn't sign over something after he was murdered, and I'll never sign anything that states that. That will never happen.
Mike Brock's family wants his house to stay in their family, so they have set up a GoFundMe page for their legal challenges. If you'd like to help out, go online to my story at wavy.com and click the link. Thanks to photojournalist Kevin Rahm for his help on this report. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on Your Side.